This game rocks my fucking socks off. Shadow of the Colossus is one of those titles you show to your friend that doesn't even play video games. It's truly one of the more unique and inspirational games of all time. It's been 13 years since the original release back on the PS2, and there's still nothing quite like this. And this new remake by Bluepoint proves that. Let's start the story. The story at face value isn't really anything complicated. You're a young man named Wander who's seeking to revive his wife, sister, girlfriend from the dead or deep sleep. Or she got KO'd, I don't know. Either way, you end up going to these forbidden lands and meeting up with this entity slash demon slash god, whatever, named Dorman. And in order to bring back your wife, girlfriend, sister, friend, you end up striking a deal with this thing. Dorman agrees to help you, but only if you slay the 16 colossi spread across these forbidden lands. And that's really about it. The story just kind of leaves you alone and lets you figure out the backstory of the land and the creatures. And it works. It all culminates to an ending that's one of my favorites in gaming. It feels earned. And throughout the campaign, which can take you anywhere from 8 to 14 hours really, you begin to form a bond with your one and only true companion, Argo. Agro. Shadow of the Colossus deals with a lot of religious metaphors and imagery. The whole game is pretty much just David and Goliath times 16. So overall, what's there of the story is really well told, and I love how this game tells so much with so little. The game doesn't give you questions, you just ask questions of it, and it works brilliantly. Let's move on to the gameplay. So the gameplay here is really interesting. To find any of these big boys, you need to raise your sword towards that great sun. This creates a beam of light, pointing you to the direction you need to go. It doesn't tell you exactly where to go, just the general direction. The rest is up to you. Finally finding a Colossus is so rewarding. The fights here play out typically like how I would approach a woman in my life. Start out by creeping up behind them. To get their attention, usually just start by lobbing some arrows into their back. This doesn't really faze them, but it does get their attention, which is the point. So obviously, once they turn around and see that you're some skinny prick, they'll start throwing in the big hits at you, trying to kill you, trying to dome you, and this is where the game really shines. Each confrontation is 1/3 puzzle, 1/3 combat, and 1/3 parkour. Every Colossus here has a different weak point, different look, and different way of climbing onto them. Fighting each for the first time is something I wish I could relive over and over again, because there's not really anything quite like it. Not everything with the gameplay here is perfect though. The camera is still annoying at times, and there are some weird collision detection issues. Even with Bluepoint's new control scheme, the controls are still a little finicky. Controlling aggro can still be a bitch sometimes. And even though all the Colossi are well designed, not all of them are equally as fun to fight. And that's more of an opinion, but I think we can all agree that there's at least one that we all kind of just hate fighting. So overall, the gameplay isn't nearly as groundbreaking as it was back in 2005, but there still really isn't a game that plays like Shadow of the Colossus. And while it does have some minor hiccups here and there, it's still a blast to play. Let's move on to the presentation. Bluepoint should be commended for the work they've done here. You can tell the studio really had a passion for this game. So much has been improved visually here. Shadow of the Colossus on the PS2 was one of the best looking games on that system. And this new remake slash remaster is one of the best looking PS4 games, which I think really says a lot about the game's artistic style. The scale this game has is unmatched. The world here is as beautiful as ever and still as empty as ever. There's nothing in these lands except geckos, pretty views, and giant colossi who are trying to kill you. And that's awesome. That's the intention. Ueda and his team could have easily given you some stupid little goblin boys to fight, or having some stupid side quest guy giving you some mushrooms to collect, but it would completely destroy what this game is trying to set up. This game handles isolation so well, and the remastered soundtrack only adds to this. Sound editing overall is top notch. The only real fault I have the presentation here would be Wander's new face. It just looks kinda weird. Overall, the presentation here is beautiful, and I think Bluepoint has done an extremely faithful job at recreating Ueda's original vision. Let's move on to the verdict. This game has truly stood the test of time, and I believe it will continue to do so. No game is perfect by any means, but Shadow of the Colossus is truly a masterpiece. This title has placed its stamp on the gaming community, and while some might not connect with it like I and many others have, what this game was able to achieve on the original PS2 will be remembered forever, I think. Bluepoint's new remaster slash remake just proves how original and fun this game really is. If you own a PS4 and haven't played this game, do yourself a favor, pick it up. It's only $40 right now, brand new, wait for it's pre-owned or something. I mean, just buy it. Do your soul a favor. It's so fucking good. Anyway, folks, that's it. Like and favorite, subscribe, tell me what I fucking sucked at. Till next time.